Hello. So this is a Trodat self-customizing, meaning that you do it yourself and you don't send it out somewhere and they customize it for you. Self-inking stamp, meaning that the pad is in the inside and you just press it down and each time it goes up it's hitting the pad on the inside to get the ink for it. I had one of these before and I loved it, and then I lost all the letters, so I've got myself a new one. So let me show you how to open this and how this thing works. Alright, so this is in a plastic shell container. There's instructions in here, and there's also instructions online, so you don't have to worry too much about keeping the in-person instructions. Alright, so here's how this works. It has bunches of letters. And yes, they are fairly small. We're talking about 3 millimeters or 4 millimeter letters, but they are still nicely legible. They're not gigantic letters. If you want to do gigantic letters, you'll probably have to get a kit that you send out to someone and you tell them exactly what you want it to say, and then they make it for you. What I like about these is that I can make it say something, and then if I need to change it, I just change it out and make it say something else. And what I'm working on right now is I have a lending library for the art association I belong to, and we want to mark all of the books in the lending library as belonging to the art association so people remember to bring them back. Alright, so this is the stamp part. It's got a place where you can make a label for the top of it. My cat is coming over, as it tends to do, to lend a hand. Hopefully she stays mostly out of the way. Alright, so with self-inking stamps, when you press it down, the base flips around and then it goes back inside to where the ink pad is. So the ink pad is in here, and you can pull it out and change it if you need to. But what we're worried about right now is we've got the blank area for the letters to go, but there's no letters on it, of course, because the letters are down here and we have to determine what we want it to say. But when you press it down and then you release, it's going to pop back up. So the first thing you have to do is you want to lock it in the down position so you can work with it without having to sit and holding it. And that's all this little slidey thing is. So you just slide it to lock. It's even got a little lock symbol. And now it won't go back and forth. You just slide it to unlock it, and now it goes back and forth again. Alright, so super easy. Just press it down and lock it, and now you can put all the letters into your heart's content. Alright, this is the part that you might imagine many people have trouble with, because these letters are fairly small, but if you look at any sort of stamp, the letters tend to be pretty small on it. So there's all sorts of duplicates of the letters. You can see there's lots of A's, lots of B's, lots of C's, and so on. So I'm going to go with the slightly bigger letters because I don't need to put that many letters on there. You know, it depends what your project is. If you need lots and lots of letters on each line, then you'll probably need to use the littler ones. If you only need a few letters on each line, which is my situation, then you can go with the bigger ones. All right, next we figure out how to open the little letter thing. There we go. Glass case just, or plastic case just pops off. Alright, so we got lots of little letters. As you can see, my hands are sort of shaky. It's just the way things are. So this could be a bit of a challenge for me. So I won't show you all of the progress. But what I'm going to do, and I'll also note the way stamps work, things are backwards, because then when you press it down, it's going to make the reverse image on the thing that you're stamping. So if you're putting in far, like F-A-R, you would not say F-A-R as if you were reading it on this. You would have to put the F-A-R, write it backwards, because then when you use the stamp, it's making an impression, and the impression is going to be backwards. So you just have to think about everything backwards. And if it helps you, draw it out on a piece of paper first, and then draw it out in reverse and hold it up to a mirror or something, so you know what you're doing. But again, you can move these things around, so it's not like it's going to be set there permanently once you put it down. Alright, so got these little tweezers, and to get one out, you just sort of grab at it, you get out. Alright, so I got a little, oh see, I was getting a little F because I was just talking about F for far, but no, this is actually a lending library, so we'll just put these to the side for now. Right, so we're gonna look for a B because the name of our group is BVAA. So B's are here. Get out the little B. So you could use the tweezers. I guess I'm finding it easier just to grab it with my fingers. And then, well, here I should show you. Well, all right, you probably can't even see. But the back of each letter has a pair of rubber bits that are shaped like this. And then this pad is made up of solid pieces of plastic. So let's say that's the solid piece of plastic, and you're just squishing the two bits of plastic on the back of the letter, or rubber, whatever it is, over this, and it just slides right over it. So nothing too hard. You can just slide it on. If you need to slide it left, you can. If you need to slide it right, you can. If you need to pull it off, you just yank it and stick it back down again somewhere else. So that part is easy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward while I do the rest of the letters, just so that you can see how this process works, but you don't have to sit here in real time. Alright, so now I've got my letters in there, and they read from this direction, because when you put it down you want them to read the correct direction. So now I can unlock it. So again, it has lock and unlock. So if I slide it, unlock, now they're going in there, and that's when they're going to press on the ink pad. So now the next step is to be able to put the ink pad in there. You know, it could be that you need to take these covers off. Well, let's try taking the covers off, which would sort of make sense if you want to have that accessible. Alright, the cover is off, and the ink side is towards the stamp side, which means at the bottom of the stamp. Oh look, it slides in now, and you push it until it clicks. Alright. Alright, so now they are inked, because when they go up, they're landing on the ink pad. So we'll just do that a couple of times to make sure that they get some good ink on them. Now we get a blank piece of paper. Alright, let's put something hard underneath it so it has a good surface on which to make an impression. Alright, impression is super clear, it's repeatable. I consider that a win. Alright, so make sure you take the ink cover off the ink pad before sticking it in. You just press this a little till the hole is available to get that in. In terms of the letters, you push this all the way down and lock it open, and then you stick the letters on. And my hands are super shaky, and I was still able to do it. So it is possible. You just have to be a little diligent to be able to push letters in. They give you tweezers. I find it easier just to do with my fingers. If you really have mobility problems, you might want to ask a friend to help you with this part. But once you get that set, you can do a bunch of stamps. You can change it around with another message, do a bunch more stamps. So this is super convenient for all sorts of different reasons. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, well, I suppose I should say, sorry, that the purpose of this thing is now if I very carefully make one, and have to get this lined up just right, which I may or may not be able to do. Oh, see, I forgot I had it locked open. Well, that's Oh wait, we could do the other side. All right, unlock. There we go. Alright, so now we just pop the top off. Stick this little thing in here. And you want to make sure that you line it up with the direction, oops, the direction that it is, which is that way. So that way people know when they're using it which side to hold up. And there we go. And now we do it. And that works perfectly. So, works like a charm, just like the previous one I had where I lost the letters. So now I'm going to put these all in a Ziploc, label it, and keep it somewhere safe. Thank you very much.